on the floor. If you would like the foam roller, it's there. Hi guys. And we're gonna start with our belly down prone. Hello everyone. And as you're ready, you're gonna be putting your hands on the floor, or you can put your elbows on the roller. We're gonna inhale and come up. So our goal is to do thoracic extension. And I'm just easing into this as people come into the room. Hello. Inhale, and you're coming up. Good. All right, let's talk a little bit about this swan while everybody looks like they're in place. And your elbows can be on, or the forearms can be on the roller. You're peeling your spine up, and then you're lowering. Your inhale is peeling your spine up. Gorgeous. Yeah. And you notice you may get higher. Breathe in. Breathe out. And if you can, breathe in your nose and breathe out your nose. We are going to be holding our swan. So the next time you're up, find a place that's a comfortable challenge. Breathe. 10, 2, lower your shoulder blades a little bit. Cool, I think 4, 5, there you go. 6, 7, 8, 9. Relax it down a little bit, your torso. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Here we go. Inhale, come up, push into the roller. Lift up your back. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, and 9. Lower. Now let's do that 1 more time. Here we go. Inhale, come up. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now lower, and because it's early in the class, we're going to take a child's pose here. So if you'd like a release, you can take a child's pose. You can grab a sip. Relax that body. Breathe in. And then just for a moment, take a little cat-cow. Once you're ready, oh, let me grab a sip. So once you're ready, you can take a sip, then take some cat-cow to wake the back up more. Cat-cow is hands and knees, flexion, extension. You're gliding the scapula down on the extension when you look up, and you're gliding the scapula forward when you do that rounded back. So that should feel really good. Breathe in, breathe out. And do a couple of those hip circles so you're neutral roughly, but you start neutral, and then you just do big hip circles per your body intuition. And let's just say 3 or 4 each way. It should feel great. It should feel like mobility. Terrific. Either go back to cat-cow, or if you would like to add on an element of strength, you can do the down dog, up dog. And it would be like a upside down V. And you get to notice how your calves feel when you do that. Lift your heels, low back, middle back, upper back. And then you go into an extension. And then you tuck the chin. You push through your upper back, your middle back, and your lower back. And then you drop your heels. Lift your heels, lower back, middle back, upper back, extension. And then tuck your chin, upper back, middle back, lower back. And then again. So you can do this cat-cow, or you can do this down dog, up dog. You're mostly trying to wake up that back. You could also do this with your forearms on a prop if you need to, like the arc. Inhale. And then exhale. And let your heels press. Inhale. And then rest again. A little child's pose. Bend your elbows. Pat yourself on the back. And then come on down to your belly. Terrific job. Walk your belly down to the mat. Stretch your legs out behind you. Take your hands beside your hips. Now, this is going to be with no hands helping, so you don't need your roller. It could be slightly pushed forward out of your way. You're going to inhale and lift up your your belly, your upper body. I have to just move my mic here. Okay, go up. Now, your inhales are going to lift you. Your neck is easy. You can lift up your toes. You can lift the knees up so you're in whole full body extension here. Breathe. And then you can add on the hands doing this really large circle. So you are pretending your breaststroke. So you go up, your hands swim wide. You go up, your hands swim wide. Move those scapula again like we did in the cat-cow. All these extensions are so good. If you only had time one day, it's really busy, just for a couple of things, I would say, a couple exercises, I would say the extensions. Breathe in would be the exercises you would do on a day that's short on time for your movement. All right, now you're going to just take a moment to release tension. One way is a child's pose, one way is just a sway back and forth. Now the knees are bent. We're going to go for our Dhanurasana, bow pose. So one hand goes to the ankle and the other one goes to the other ankle if you can, or you're going to do it twice. So just spend energy where you need to, 1 or 2 footed Dhanurasana. Breathe in, open up. Breathe in, open up. Feels good. Strong legs. Relax for a moment. We're going to do it again, or you can check the other leg. Here we go. Up. And then relax for a moment, hands underneath your head. You're going to lift up both legs and add a flutter kick. This is for hamstring and glute activation. Really good to support the knees and the back. Nice. Okay, now this time tap your feet together, horizontal adduction. Tap about 20 times. Good. Long, long, long belly lift with like an imaginary piece of ice is underneath your abdominals. And then push back, either child's pose or down dog. You choose child's pose or down dog. Stretch out those bodies. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job, guys. Grab a sip. And we're going to come up to the shins. Now, if you want more padding underneath your knees, take it. So if you want more padding underneath your knees, take a moment. You're going to put your shins down, one leg out. Actually, let me scoot back. It looks like the camera view will be better if I scoot back. And then we're going to take the fingertips, probably are going to be near your temples, but if you're struggling with upper trap activation, it's easier just to put your hands out of the way. So find a way. Now, if you're wanting more challenge, you manipulate your lever. And feel this part. If you don't feel what I'm talking about, you can always put your hand here. The brain responds well to proprioception. This should feel tight or contracting. Now we're going to do 10 where we add a rotation, of course. I love to do lateral flexion and rotation. We're already here. 4. Neck is soft, whatever you're doing with your hands. 5. Now, if you're trying to work your body harder, you'll make sure not to throw the arms. You won't throw the arms to get there, right? The arms are like a frame. 8, 9. Bonus, a little pulse. So find a place that feels like you're maybe 2 or 3 inches working. 5. Bias the abs so you're not getting your back. 7. Okay, come up. Now we're going to add a little stretch here. Make sure not to push on your knee, but you are near your leg, on your leg. Go inhale. And you know how when we do half moon, we add a rotation? We're going to do that down. And then we're going to inhale and add a rotation up. Stretch through the elbow too, like I'm pulling your arm. Now this hand that's in the air is going to come down. It could go to a yoga block. It could go to the floor or the foam roller. Put that top leg behind you. Ah, yes. Oh, good. Breathe, lift, lift, lift your hip. Try to extend this hip and open up that rib cage. Inhale. I like to reach a little more than you think. Foot comes back in line, realign. Check your knees are happy. No joint should hurt. Here we go. Good. Now, if your traps are an issue, cross your arms. If the challenge is leaving you wanting more, lengthen your arms. Good. And you're not letting yourself do this either. You're keeping that same distance from bicep to ear. We're going to be adding on, dip, rotate, dip, rotate, dip, rotate. Inhale, exhale. 5, 6, and Catherine, if your knee's an issue, do you know the one where we do lying down with our arm under the ear and then we lift up both thighs, double leg lift, sideline? That's a nice variation too because it's in the same plane. And you're going to go into pulse here. Yeah. Now, when you're doing this, this is also, and you too, Catherine, right here is what should be working. So you can feel it. If you're never sure, like, what am I supposed to be working? Your fingers there will help. And now we're going to do a couple stretches. So up and over. Nice. And of course, this could be any way you want to, seated, because the KRA, the key result area, is that your spine is getting lateral flexion. You can add that rotation here. You can add that rotation here. Ooh, that one's nice. Yeah. You might have an area that feels like it needs more. When I opened up, I'm like, oh, I need that. Now, this hand comes down, or you can put it on the yoga block, or maybe even the foam roller. Reach. 4, 5. Yeah. Now, this hip, you're trying to open. This hip lifts up. 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale. And exhale. Now, to neutralize everything, just take a child's pose with your toes under, stretch out those feet. If you want more for your feet, come up, straight up in the heels. Now, if you don't, stay in child's pose. If you want more for the feet, go back, toe crushasana. Lift your hips. 5. Good. 4. That was good, Jean. You noticed if you wanted it harder, you put your knees together. So that was good. I could see you adjusting your knees together. Inhale, and then gently come back up. Grab a sip. Nice, guys. Nice. We're going to touch some planks here. So we'll touch the planks at first. Again, if your forearms are tender, you could, bones, in other words, you could put something down there. So we're going to put the foam roller at one end, the forearms at the other, toes slightly internally rotate. Now, set up all your cues. Shoulder blades are down the back. This also gives me a chance to see if I need to cue anything different for anyone. You can shift forward and back if you would like to add on. And that rolls out some of those tibialis muscles. And your goal really, there's a lot of goals, but you're making sure you don't droop in your lower back. Your abs don't drop. Woo! 5, 4, 3, nice. 2, and relax. You can do a little child pose here if you want with your shins on the roller. Now go back out to forearm plank. Now this is subtle, but you're going to dip your left hip and then you're going to dip your right hip. Dip your left hip and then dip your right hip. Obliques, dip your left, dip your right. Rotation. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then bring it back in. Take a breather. And then we're going to go into a hip pike or hip lift. So let your forearms come down. Your roller may need to be a tiny bit closer to your knees on this than on the last. So lift up your hips. Take 5 of those. And then 6 where you add an oblique twist. So lift your hips left, then do a plank. Lift your hips right, then do a plank. Lift your hips left, lift your hips right. One more each. left, right. Now recover for a moment. Hips go back. Nice job. And then let's grab a sip and do a little bit of work. I'm going to be touching the areas today. So you have the foam roller on one end, your foot end. You have the length of your mat behind you, so you don't have anything in your way back here. Inhale, lower, and let's say about 10, about 5, 2, and then 1. Let your feet come back on the roller, or if you need a modification, your feet are on the floor. You could also use another prop like the arc. Curl down and up, curl down and up. There's a posterior tilt, and your lower spine hits the floor before it peels up. Evenness in the right and left hip bone, or ASIS to the sky. Evenness in the feet. Stay up. Now once you're up and your hips are level, you're going to do a little pulse here, maybe 2 to 3 inches, 10 repetitions. And just to mix it up, let the knees touch each other and do 10 here where your knees gently touch, medial rotation. And then let the knees be wider than your heels so you're in a slight external rotation, 10 pulses. Let the feet be over, the knees be over the hips, and then curl your spine back down. Take the thighs into your belly. Now you can add a little rock here, a little release, and we're going to touch those hamstrings as we take the legs long. So put your calf area on the roller or the floor if you prefer. You can put your heels on the floor. So the roller's a little nicer on this one. You're going to lift up your hips. You remember how when we were belly down, we did thighs or hip extension. This is the muscle group that we worked, hamstring glute, hip extension, and exhale. I'm just moving my arms so that you can see my spine's going up and down. You don't have to. I just know sometimes when my hands are down, it's hard to see what my back's doing from the camera. So I want you to know I'm lifting up my hips and then I'm lowering my hips. I'm lifting up the glutes and I'm lowering. All right, hold this next one up for 10. So here we go, but keep breathing. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, lower. Again, here we go, lift up and hold 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lower down. Lift up one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and rest. Now, we're going to hug the legs in. If you care to do a modification, you can stay in a crisscross down low. So I'm going to show a modification, which is like your piston legs. And if you care to add on, your hands go behind your back, you lift up, you add rotation, you exhale as you pull your belly in. If you can see your belly, which you should be able to because you're up at 30 degrees, you want to feel your belly pull in. It doesn't pooch vertically. Pull your toes back for the next 8. And then come down for a moment. Nice. And then we're going to do another one, single straight leg stretch here. So the modification would be a little pair of scissors up in the air. Your ribs are down. That's more important. No matter what you do, the ribs are down. And if you want to add on, lift up. One way to do this is shoulder blades off the mat, hands help you. Now, if your neck's an issue, you can put a pillow under your head so you have less length to pick up your head. Another trick is to put your hands behind your head. Otherwise, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, when you come down in your head, hold on to your feet. I like to stretch out my big toe and my pinky toe from the other toes. So we've got some opening up. So you can add that if you would like. 5, 4. I like to add a little rock here as well. This is a bound angle. 3, yep. Feels good when you massage the sacral area. 2 and 1. Now we're going to leave the head down on this next one. Take the left leg really long. I'm going to just scooch my roller away. So my left leg's pouring, my right leg's up. Draw 6 circles one way, single leg circles, ribs are down. You'll notice I use that cue a lot when we're on our back, supine. So it's a lumbopelvic cue. Now we're going to do 6 the other way. 6, your shoulder blades are down, but you're not tense in the neck to do it. So you're stable, but you're not tense. So you get to feel that difference between contraction and tension. All right, let's hug that leg in like a little thigh to belly first. And then we're going to do that one too. Lengthen the leg up and add the point and flex. As I've got this point and flex, I'm also adding spreading out the toes. Let's go ahead and add an ankle roll, about 3 or 5 each way. Pull those toes back. Feel that fab stretch. Here we go, inhale. Now we're going to take this leg down, the other leg up, and this leg's going to pour down. This leg's going to draw about 6 circles each way. Shoulders down, ribs down. This left leg might have a bigger circle as you warm up. 2. All right, go the other way. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. No, we did a couple stretches here. So one is just hug the bent knee leg into your belly. Inhale. That's okay. Yeah, and we did it on the other one too, Michelle, but we'll just get it all together, right? And then lift up the other leg, the left leg, and then I'm going to add a point and a flex where I'm also adding on the toe spread on the plantar, on the dorsiflexion. So I'm deliberately trying to create space between the toes. Now I'm going to add some circles. The other foot probably goes along with you, and if it doesn't, that's okay. Just make sure you're getting some mobility. Pull the toes back. Feel that wonderful stretch. And then just take a right ankle to left thigh hip opener for a moment. So reach your right hand, reach your hands through and add a little rock. The rock is optional. Really good, guys. Inhale. All right, let's go to the other side. Ankle to thigh, reach your hands through. Nice. 2, 3, and I'm adding a little rock. 4, it's up to you. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now there's one called double leg stretch we're going to head for next, and I'm going to do it in a layer. So the layer is your head's down, your arms go up, your legs go up, and then you hug your shins. A little harder would be arms away, legs away, and then you hug. Now the next one, which is more classic, you lift up your shoulder blades the whole time. And if you want that head support we talked about, your hands could be behind your head. Three, 2, 1. Nice job. And now let your 2 right fingers hold on to your right big toe. Stretch your left leg out above the ground. Try to lengthen your right leg and come up. Now, if that's just not happening, hold on to anything you can. This is holding on to the big toe pose. A modification would be leave the head down. You're in an ab crunch and you're in a hamstring stretch. Breathe in. Relax your head. Take your 2 fingers of your left hand around the big toe. Stretch out your right leg. Inhale, come up. And if that's too much, just hold on anywhere you can. Or leave your head down. You know the different modifications that are going to serve you. 4, 3, 2, inhale. And then exhale, hug the legs into a happy baby. I've got my big toe still, so I'm opening up that big toe, which is so vulnerable to getting medially deviated. So knees open. Now both legs are going to come up, and think about, so we stretched them, think about what you feel as a hamstring stretch here. Now your hands are down on the floor like a little frame, circle. I'm going to put a little towel under my sacrum for the bones, and circle as a unit, and circle the other way. And circle the other way. Good, you look great. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. And 1 more. A little hug, a little point and flex. We want that ankle mobility for healthy balance, healthy back, and not shuffling, right? Healthy gait. Okay, I'm gonna offer us to come up in a roll so your hands can come behind your thighs. It's almost like you're on a swing and you're gonna kick up. Woo! And then come up. Good timing for a sip, Cole. Grab a sip. I've got chai tea today, homemade chai tea with goat milk. I hope you're drinking something yummy. Come back down. So we're going to hit some belly downs with an interlaced finger position, but if you prefer not to have your interlaced fingers, you can also just leave the hands beside your hips. So either way, you're doing a back extension. You're going to lift up. Now hold 10. Nice, everyone. You can lower, and if you are holding hands, interlace your fingers the other way. Good job. Come up. Breathe in. And then let it go. Good job. All right. This time we're going to do an upper body, lower body. So come up without your hands. Let your hands assist you higher. Lower yourself down and then lift up your thighs while your head's down. Lift up your torso without your hands and then let your hands assist you. And then lower your torso. Now lift up your legs. Now lift up your torso and then put your hands on the floor and come up higher. Gorgeous. And again, thighs up. Lift up your torso. Now, if you would like to try the dynamic swan, you can let go and then catch yourself, or you can do 3 to 5 of those. Good. And whenever you need to, come out, do a little child's pose, or I'd like to offer a squat if you would like. So totally up to you. I like to integrate these squats every day somehow. When you feed the dog, you can get down like this, put dog food in the bowl. Just kind of using opportunities during your day to do this. Good. Inhale. Now while we're here, we're going to put one shin down. So one foot is on the floor and you're leaning forward. This is that lower leg stretch. It's almost like you're going to do a somersault. By that, I mean, if you were to let go, you might keep going, right? So yeah, all right, inhale. Try, I like to do a little left and right because I do find sometimes I have a little tightness more on the outer or the inner, and this lets me know. And then take it to the other foot. I'm going to do a couple of lower legs here. So forward. All right, do you feel, so I feel my left one's a little tighter. That's my slightly shorter leg, so you may feel something too. So if you have that, you can do it a little longer. A little left and right if you want. Now I'm going to offer a couple ways to get the top of the shin. Karen, these are the things you texted me about. Catherine, I think you'll like it. If your knees don't like it, wait for the stand-up one, so don't worry. So here's one, and your feet are underneath you, not sickling out, right? Now, if you want, there's a lot of ways to do this, but one is to lift up one shin. Now I'm really on my right tibialis anterior extensor digitorums. Now I lift up the other. I'm going to be showing different ways, so if these don't serve you, just know I'm going to be standing up in a moment. Inhale. Yeah, now you can, I'm going to show a different one. You can come up, no hands, of course. Cross your right foot over. Shall I open up the camera a little bit? Okay, yeah, good, Catherine. Okay, so left foot is on the floor, right foot goes over, and it's the top of the toes are on the floor. Now bend your left knee. Don't worry if you don't feel it. I'm going to give 3 different ways. One will definitely work. Yeah, so now I'm going to turn. Don't worry, you don't have to turn. I just want you to show you what it looks like from the side. So what I'm doing is bending my left knee, and that forces my right shin in a stretch. Now watch this, right foot down, take your left foot over, and bend your right knee, and it forces your left shin forward. Yep. I'm going to be showing another one. A lot of times people will say, wow, I didn't feel one of them, but that other one, I felt a whole lot. I feel them all, but I just want you to see what works for you. Ooh, I really felt that on the left side again. Now, here's another one. Pretend you're dragging your toes, like you're going to drag a line on the dirt. Now, all I'm doing is pushing my right shin forward, but I'm not letting it move. So my energy's forward in my right shin, and it looks like this from the front. Do you feel all this? So Karen, one of these should really work for you. Catherine, I actually think these are going to be great for you because of your knee. So forward. Heck, Michelle, you too probably. Your hip, you've probably had to compensate. I have a feeling. Jean, you'll have to let me know how these feel. So I hope that went great. I feel them all, but a lot of times people are sort of binary, like, I didn't feel that one at all, but man, I felt the other one. So just see what you need. Karen, that looks good, like what you need. You can still sit up in your torso, Karen, while you push the energy forward. You don't have to lean. It's like so you can still stand up and you push your shin forward even though it doesn't move. Really good, guys. Come down to a mermaid or whatever seated position's good for you. Let me just let that absorb by doing a couple stretches. So Karen, can you give me did that work? Thumbs up. Okay. Catherine, did that feel like you felt it? Everybody feel it? Okay, good. All right, great. That's what I just making sure. For some reason, those lower legs, sometimes people just won't feel one at all. And then they really will feel another one. That's fine. Go open, rotate. It's sort of an area people don't tend to spend a lot of time on, but man, it's stabilizing us every single step. So I like to do something for those legs. All right, now switch up the leg position. And remember, if mermaid doesn't serve you, even with props, a pillow, you can just sit any way you want to. So one was upper, yeah. Left arm, Karen, yeah, wherever you need it, yep. Yeah. Take this hand and go back. Now look over your shoulder. Here we go. And then gently come back, grab a sip. And then, Jean, I'm not sure where your elbow is in its healing, but I'm going to offer 2 different ways to work your obliques so that you can do either one that works for your elbow. One is a side plank with or without the foam roller. So I'm going to just offer it. Anyone can do either way. We're working in this frontal plane. So you can hold a side plank. And Jean, if your elbow's hurting you, you can do these. Kind of like how I showed Catherine earlier with her knee one. It's like, that's always a backup plan. So I want you guys to find a sense of creativity. Like, I'm just going to work in a way that's healthy for me. 10, 2, 3, looking good, guys. 4, 5, picturesque side plank. 7, 8, 9, lower that hip with care. Here we go to the other side. All right. Come up. 10, 2. I'm stretching out even through the top hand. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lower. We're going to add on a little bit. Everybody's doing great. If you need to, you can always do the double side leg lift. I'm just using a prop for my forearm. Take your top hand as if it's a triangle right around your head. I like to even fold my knuckles so I don't get my wrist. So rotate and exhale. 2. Good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and lower. Here we go. We're going to do 10 on the other side. Looking good, guys. Hand on, inhale, here we go. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice job. Here we go. And then we're going to go one more side plank variation. You know how I love shoulder mobility because it's an area that a lot of people get tight. We're going to do 5 shoulder circles one way, 5 the other way. So the big range of motion where the arm goes behind you while you're in a plank. So go in a plank, let this arm, it's almost like what I call Vini yoga. I need to change that. Vini yoga, where you're moving, stretching. What I like about this is it's in the air, no constriction. 5 the other way when you're ready. You're doing great. 2, 1. Okay, lower down. Let's get that other side. We've got a side plank. All right. When you're ready, come up. This time I've got staggered feet, which is a little easier than stacked feet, but you can make it your own. Open up that shoulder. That shoulder loves mobility. You want to feel that scapula glide on the back. Now let's go the other way. Big stretch. This arm, these arms are usually drawn forward in everyday life, so we are opening them up. And relax. Really good job. Nice job. Now this one is either a reverse plank or a reverse table. So you choose. The reverse table would have bent knees. The reverse plank would have long knees. And I like to put the ankles on that foam roller so that the knees are less likely to hyperextend. Here we go. Open up that front side. Strengthen the posterior chain. Strengthen those wrists. We don't want to avoid the wrist totally. If you do fall, that's what breaks. I think I told you my 72-year-old client broke his wrist. He tripped over something and he broke his wrist. So I don't want to avoid the wrist totally. I don't want them to be strained for you when we do the exercises. Come on down, but I want you to feel like you have some strength in them and some bone density. Good. I'm doing a little stretch here that you pull the fingers down. Doing a little stretch that I pull the fingers down. I didn't cue it out loud. I just showed it, Karen. Sorry. I got lost in my thinking about healthy ways for the bones. Fingers down. Fingers down. So I'm having some intuitions and I'm going to follow, and I just want you to follow your gut too. But I want to get the foam roller underneath our glute in a stretch. So grab a sip if you would like, and then we're going to roll out the right glute. We're going to roll out the left glute. If that's not an area you need or you need something else, please do it. But I do have this feeling that we need to roll out a few things. I've gotten some texts from people about things being tight. So let's do it. Let's do a little bit of release. Lift up. Now there's a couple ways to do this, but one is right ankle to left thigh, and then you roll out that thigh, or sorry, that side that you're stretching. So sit bone all the way up to the high part of the ilium. It's hard to go wrong here. There's not an area that's vulnerable here to getting injured. Like, you don't want to roll out your lowest rib. That's one area that's vulnerable to rolling. But here, if you move, you're pretty safe to find it wherever you go. Sit bone towards the greater trochanter side of the hip, all the way up your ilium. That's that glute medius. And then just notice, what does your right hip feel like? Also breathing, here we go, breathe in through the nose, breathe out the nose. I've also got my knuckles folded under, so I'm a little easier on my wrist. I think that's what you're doing too. Good. All right, now if you would like, go to the other side. If you're needing more attention on that left, be my guest. Now let's just see how that one is. Good. I just want you to find the areas that you need. Yep, I may turn to see you so I don't have to turn my neck so much. You guys keep going. I just want to see you better. Now, just kind of notice, do you have more tension on one side versus the other? There's no wrong or right answer. I just want you to notice, does your sit bone area need it more? Good. Breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your nose. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, you can take a sideways position on your IT. The one foot, so let's say the top foot's your right foot, it could be on the floor to kind of take some body weight off. These are areas, what I'm getting are some like very common areas of tension. So I'm going for some areas that tend to be big hitters, and when they hurt, sometimes they don't even hurt, they just tell your hip will hurt or your knee will hurt. So a lot of times there's another joint it'll influence, even though we're rolling out this side leg. If you tilt down a little bit, it's a bit more quad, lateral quad. Also that TFL. So those of you that have some knee or hip issues, see if that helps. And then roll, if you roll up, that's a little bit more of that lateral hamstring. Now I just felt mine's a little bit tight. I've been doing some sprints and ladder drills, and that's a little tight on me. So everybody's different. Find out what's going on with you. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then if you want, you can even do a test between sides and just see how does it feel. Like I can do this and feel a difference, or I can look and see that left leg's a little longer, which normally my left leg's a little shorter, so that worked. And then let's do the other IT. So you're gathering information for you. This top foot is on top, kind of helping you take some body weight off of the roller, especially if you've got this black one, which is really firm. Blue's usually medium. Yep, Jean, yeah, see yours, yeah. All right, how does that feel? You might go from greater trochanter towards 2 inches from the knee. And Catherine, I'm interested if this helps your knee. Jean, Jean, how it feels. Karen, your knee, and then roll down. Michelle, you've got new information with your hip, so I don't know. Well, it's going to feel, we'll see. Roll down, rotate down a little. There's your lateral quad. And then a little lateral hamstring. And you know, stay somewhere longer if you want. Roll it out. Find what you need. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now, forearms is going to be quads. So a few of you have mentioned knee pain. So quads are often part of this. And now you're in a plank, so you're on your forearms and you have some ab tone, you have some shoulder blade tone. And then you're rolling out your quads and you're breathing. Now, if you want to add on a variation, toe out, you're externally rotated, that'll get more medial quad. Good. Now toe in, like you're pigeon-toed. Now neutral. And if you want to, you can bend the knees and straighten them. That's a little harder, so if it's too hard, do your thing where you're long. Another trick you could do is roll a little bit more the right leg out, so I'm kind of angled a bit. And then roll a little bit more the left leg. And then roll neutral. And then come out. And I'm gonna have us roll out the upper back. You guys would like a sip, grab a sip, and then we'll get to the upper backs. Tell me how, I can't wait to hear how you're feeling. Upper back is chronically forward in our daily task, almost always, right? So like if you're at a desk, if you're looking at your phone, working on the laptop, driving, and what you wanna do is the opposite. So what we're doing is getting some blood flow in there. Blood flow is a big healer. And you could experiment, you can do extension while you roll out your upper back. And you can do flexion. And you can do both. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now we're going to hit that lat, so it's like you're a little inchworm. I'm just barely pushing my hips forward and back so that I roll out this armpit muscle, the lat twist at the back side. And you know, you might also feel that rear deltoid. So feel those muscles are internal rotators. If they're tight, they make us kind of pull in like a gorilla. 5. So this is, I always found this interesting. When you roll out the lat, your lat is the biggest lat muscle and it attaches down here at your sacral area too. So you may, when it's tight, it makes your low back tight. So when you release it, you can get some release in your low back, even though it feels like we're just working up here. It's connections down here as well. All right, inhale. And then before you go to the other side, just do a little, what's that feel like? And then what's this one feel like? Ha! Mine feels tight and sticky, even though we've done like 3 stretches on the lats. This one feels more airy and spacious. So let's hit that other one. In a perfect world, which is why I throw in myofascial, the myofascial plus release plus the stretching is a great combination to release tension, to open up range of motion. So, feel how that one is. You may notice one side's tighter than the other. If you're right-handed, you might notice that right one's tighter. Open. That rear deltoid is getting a stretch. Feel your armpit muscle, the lat, kind of on the back side of the armpit. Again, you can probably find all sorts of places. So just explore. Keep breathing in your nose if you can. Keep breathing out your nose if you can. If you're ever stopped up, just keep breathing diaphragmatically if you can in belly, rib, heart. Five, 4, 3, 2. How's everything going? I hope it feels good. We're going to be setting up for a thoracic extension next. So for this one, you're going to be lying on your back and, your foam roller's underneath the upper part of your back that's the most rounded. Now, if your head can touch the floor here, you can just stay. If you need a little prop, maybe you need a foam, half a yoga block or a towel so that your neck is in alignment in that extension and it's not hyperextended. So your palms are facing up so that you've got this external rotation. Now you're opening up the most round part of your back. This is a great passive extension to prevent rounded upper back and rounded shoulders. I love to add on this little bound angle addition. So if that does not hurt your low back, you can do that. Now we've got this pectineus stretch, the gravity assisted stretch where your knees are getting pulled down. When you breathe in your nose, fill up your belly, ribs, and your heart. Both left and right side should feel an opening. Let one hand come behind your head, roll yourself up. Now before we do anything else, just lie down and see how that upper back feels. Should feel flatter on the floor, should feel more released. And we're gonna grab a Dynaband or a Pilates ring so you can do a hamstring stretch with your foam roller. So take your tool of choice. I've got a Dynaband today or an elastic tubing. We're going to put the sacrum on the foam roller, lift up a leg, pour the other leg down. This psoas is getting a stretch. This hamstring's getting a stretch. And I'm trying to release any tension I feel in my body with an exhale. So the exhales are a great way to facilitate extension. The leg that's in the air, you can take it across your midline. Outer hamstring. And the leg that's in the air, you can take to the side, inner hamstring. If you go out pretty far, it's inner thigh. All right, this leg that's in the air, you can keep it up long enough to switch legs so that the left foot's easy to get in that strap. Pour the right leg down, stretch it out. Yep, that looks great, guys. Take the leg across. Take the leg open. Notice how everything feels. We're going to actually let both legs down, and I generally have to move this foam roller down a little bit towards where the glute meets the hamstring so that it's a nice release on this back, passive release. So extensors are letting go. You can even let your arms be like a field goal post, palms up. This helps the low back tremendously. Our little hip flexors are almost always in flexion, aren't they? Seated, even doing our sports. So we're letting them be the opposite. This is a great stretch if you've been traveling, forced in a little seat for a while. Now we're gonna let this out and just notice how your whole body feels with your back on the floor. If you do need a prop underneath your knees for your back, that's fine. I want you to just feel how much now more of your body is on the floor. Breathe in a feeling of full wellness. Inhale, a feeling of clarity, sure-footedness, solidarity. And you're just bonding with your higher you right now, the clear you, the solid you. And then we'll let our fingers and our toes Start to wake up and come into a seated position so that you are able to sit without really any muscular contraction, or just as little tension as you can. The bones are just nicely aligned. So one of the reasons I do physical activity outside, inside, is to just connect with the higher me, the part of me that's solid, creative, sure-footed, value-driven, calm, peaceful, aligned, excited to go. So just see what that means to you. You're taking a moment to get rid of some of the external pulls on us and reconnect with the part of you that's really you. It's a feeling of resonance, solidarity, clarity, creativity, sure-footedness, confidence, alignment, and just soak that all in. And may you stay connected with your higher you for the rest of the day with so much appreciation. Thank you guys so much. If you don't mind, send me a text. Tell me how that felt for your body. I did specific exercise